Welcome back to the Words from the Nerds podcast, where we bring you all of our lovely, nerdy news, thoughts, opinions, discussions, all over the board, baby. You know us. All right. I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Aiden and Benjamin. You have to add a pregnant pause, guys. Come on. Aiden and Benjamin, how are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
I'm zen. I'm zen for this episode.
You mean you're asleep?
I was gonna say that's a nice way to deter it. Benjamin,
I'm doing great. I'm also a little tired, to be honest. I've been up pretty late most nights, but no place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be.
You know why I think I'm tired? Every single day this week and last week, I've been asleep before 10:30. And if you know me, that is like me this year versus me last year at the same time. I mean, I was staying up till 1, 2 o'clock. Like, I didn't care. I sleeping in, whatever. I cannot remember the last time that I have stayed up past 11 o'clock. And so once 9 hits, I'm getting tired. I'm looking forward to calling it a night. And I don't know, man. I'm getting up there, man.
even on your days off?
Even on my days off.
Dang.
I went to sleep last night at like 9:30, bro. This is not me at all.
That's that crazy work right there, man. But to our lovely audience, we have a nice little show for you today. As we discussed last week, we're going to be giving each other our lovely recommendations that we are obligated to watch and report back on next week for next week's episode. We also are going to do maybe a little bit of a discussion about Supergirl. We would have had more if they actually dropped the trailer today, but that's not coming till tomorrow. So we have a couple of clips of Supergirl, but more Pluribus discussion, all that lovely stuff. So without further ado, actually, no, first, housekeeping. I always forget about housekeeping. Housekeeping, of course, you can always leave us a comment on last week's episode, the current episode, before the next one drops. Like, if you're watching this before anytime next week, leave a comment. We will read it aloud no matter what it says. If you're making fun of us, we'll read it aloud. If you're being a really nice guy, which would be preferred, then we'd read that aloud too. But you know,
I'm hosting next week. So you guys should leave comments that are mean to Aiden and Charlie so that I can read it.
That's actually, we should start calling that out. Whoever's hosting next time. Yeah. We should start calling that out. So then people, if you want a specific person to read it aloud, then that is knowledge that you have. So Benjamin will be hosting next week. So if you want him to read something aloud, then go ahead and comment that. But as for comments for last week, we do not have any. Do we have any fan mail? Probably not. I'm assuming not.
No.
Okay. Nothing to read aloud. Nothing to read aloud. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're always dropping episodes. We're trying to keep up with them. And we have been really good this whole year. So and we plan to continue that into next year, especially with all the little bits of news that we got this week about but actual scheduling for TV shows and how that's going to line up and be fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, and if you're on Spotify, leave us a review, 5-star review. You know we're worth it. You know we're good for it. You know it.
Oh yeah.
Come on. But anyway, without further ado, do we want to? I'm host. I get to decide. Let's save the good stuff. Let's talk about Supergirl a little bit, because my thing. I don't know if you guys watched the short little thing that the teaser for the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, not that we can deter or figure out much from just that little clip, but I mean, it looks pretty good to me. Like I assume it looked like we might have seen some clips from Krypton. I assume some flashbacks of her walking and living on Krypton a little bit. I assume that's the shot of them all dressed in white. I assume that's on Krypton. I could be wrong. Do you guys think we're going to see Lobo in the trailer tomorrow? Do you think we're going to get that?
I think it could be like a end of trailer reveal, because we also, alongside the little teaser we got and knowing that we're about to get a trailer, we also got a little bit of a description for what the movie is going to be about.
The synopsis or whatever.
Yeah, and it mentions an unlikely ally, and I feel like that's got to be Lobo. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think it'll be in the trailer because I mean, I know it's like set photos that leaked and casting and whatever, but it's not like they really tried to hide that he was going to be in the movie.
Yeah. And they announced him as Lobo and everything too, right? Like officially.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying his casting or specifically in
His
this movie?
casting.
Like,
his casting in Supergirl. Like it was like a combination thing, I thought.
I think so. I remember James Gunn tweeting about it, just like, and he's talked about it plenty of times, just like immediately reaching out to Jason Momoa,
Sure.
being like, "You want to play Lobo?"
Yeah.
But I thought somewhere there was official confirmation that his character was going to be introduced in Supergirl.
Okay. I feel like I do. I recall that as well. Do you think we're gonna get more crypto in this movie? To the level of that we had him in Superman.
I don't know. Do you think the story takes place before everything leading into Superman, or do you think it takes place after? I mean, I think the obvious answer would be after.
Yeah, I think
seeing
after.
as she's still dealing with a lot of stuff. If after,
well, actually,
then,
and also now that I'm thinking, sorry to interrupt,
No, go
because
for it.
I know I asked the question, but I'm thinking I'm pretty sure the plot synopsis also said that they're going to be it's in space, or it's mostly like away from Earth.
You want me to read it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, when an unexpected and ruthless enemy threatens, Kara Jor-El is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion. Together, they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake, and where Kara must confront her origins to find her own path as a hero.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being known, I assume it's going to be another like she'll drop crypto off with Clark, and Clark will. I'm sure there's going to be a funny I'm sure we're going to see Clark, and that maybe that'll be like the little moment we see Clark is where she's just like actually dropping him off for puppy daycare again or whatever.
I think it'll tie into the Superman scene somehow, though, just because like the vibes that we're getting, even the poster of the movie having the text on it saying truth, justice, whatever, we're getting the same kind of vibes of like her being a bit of a wild child and partying at different planets and whatnot. I think that is going to tie into it, because I think there's going to be some level of like, maybe, and this is me just going out on a limb with how they're going to handle her character. I know it's based on a comic, but I don't really know anything about it. That she kind of likes to use her powers to just go around, have fun, party, and whatever. But then this threat is kind of what brings her to the forefront of having to like face what it really means to actually use her powers for good versus just the fun that we hear about her having in the Superman clip. So yeah. I think it'll tie into that somehow, and it will either. This movie is basically right after that moment in Superman. What?
You froze there. You froze.
Was it a good freeze frame?
Well, you froze and your voice like cut out. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'll tie in somehow.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it is a threat that kind of makes her come to that realization, or if it's something within her, or something that she kind of faces that's kind of small scale. Realizes that she needs to look inward and then confront whatever comes through the rest of the story. I think either one of those, that's kind of hand in hand in terms of the overall vibe and story that the movie is probably going to go. I'm trying to look. I saw somebody freaking out about, and again, my DC, my Supergirl stuff, forgive me, but somebody was freaking out about the shot of her with somebody else, and it's when all the lasers are pointed at her. And I guess it's another character. I wish I could have saved it to look back on it. It is another character that is next to her that I guess is from the comics. And I'm wondering if that is the ally and it's not Lobo. And to temper expectations.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because I could also see Lobo being like another Superman style thing, like because there's not any like Lobo TV show or anything that has been announced, right? No Lobo project or anything.
No.
As far as I can see, casting wise, that character is named Alex Danvers.
Carol Danvers?
Her sister? In the TV show, she has a sister named Alex, but
this one right
I don't know DC stuff either.
This girl right here.
Ah, okay, yeah. In the TV show, she grew up with the sister. I guess she took their last name. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, adopted sister. Yeah, from Earth, But wait, did it say unlikely ally in the plot synopsis, or did it just say ally?
It said unlikely ally.
Okay, so probably not her sister then.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm very excited for the movie just because of the idea of, from what I understand of the Woman of Tomorrow comic that this movie is going to be based on, is that it's very like introspective for Kara and her adventure, or not adventure, but her life back on Krypton, and like how that weighs on her, because like she was older than Clark when Krypton died and everything. And I imagine that I think we talked about this when Superman came out, that when her drinking so heavily and whatnot kind of ties into her thoughts and maybe depression as it pertains to Krypton and the family that she lost there, the life that she lost there. And I imagine we're going to be diving into that to some degree, and that is a very strong character focus that it sounds like I'm going to very much enjoy, but that remains to be seen. Obviously, I was hoping that, I'm not to shift gears, but the Green Lantern show, did they just say that got pushed back? I feel like I just saw something like that.
I don't think it got pushed back. I just think we never knew exactly when it was going to be. I think maybe the thought was that it was early 2026.
Yeah,
and
I think I thought
like
it was
summer.
before. Okay, there it is. Yeah, okay.
But I don't.
So it'll probably be after Supergirl then.
Yeah, it just says late summer. I think initially it was supposed to be like a spring.
Mm-hmm.
That could also be, I mean, I don't know how much it's like based on the actual like filming and how ready that they are to release the show, reshoots. You never know what all of that could look like, versus maybe it could just be everything else that's coming out in the spring. Like, I don't know if it could be a release window type of thing.
Yeah. Release window for Netflix. I'm just kidding.
I'm doing some yeah, I know, right? I saw someone say watching the trailer tomorrow in the end says coming to streaming on Netflix at the end of June or whatever.
I saw somebody made a TikTok. He said when we're watching the Batman Part 3 and he clicks and it goes to dumb. It's just so stupid.
God. So I was doing some digging. Ruth Marie Knoll is the character that Eve Ridley will be playing. That's the girl that's standing next to Kara in the trailer.
Okay.
She is a noble and honor-bound warrior who will journey across the cosmos with Supergirl to hunt down Krem of the Yellow Hills for killing her father. Not sure if I highly doubt that this is like for the movie, but nothing else is coming up.
Oh,
other than that, but that could just be her character at the comics. But
gotcha. I totally got the the character and the actor wrong, because when I looked up,
you were on the
cast
TV.
It went to the TV show. Okay.
But their casting is like so similar that I thought the girl in the teaser was the same girl who played her in the show. I'm telling you, I'm looking up Supergirl cast and I was like, oh yeah, that's the one.
Okay, all right, no, yeah, I like that. But yeah, obviously,
I don't know.
I think I mean, we're super excited for the trailer tomorrow, obviously. This is shifting gears just to get away from it, just for a real small discussion. I don't know if you guys have been seeing, I guess it's only mostly coming from Soups that I've seen. Where did this idea that because I did text it to you guys, but I thought that's because I thought Avatar was coming out this week. But apparently there's thoughts that the Doomsday trailer was going to come out tomorrow. But that's since come back. Yeah, like where did that come from? Like I don't.
I have no clue. I've seen posts that are just like, I can't believe tomorrow we're about to witness peak for the first time in like 7 years, comparing it to like the Infinity War trailer.
Sure.
And I'm like, what are we talking about? And then half of the comments are like, what? When's the teaser coming out? And the other half are like, no, it's next week with Avatar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did just see Daniel RPK. He tweeted out that I don't know if he was talking about the potential trailer for tomorrow, or I think he might have been talking about both, but he said something about the trailer for the 17th was just like heavily rumored and not confirmed. But I remember hearing that it's going to be confirmed, or that it was confirmed. Like I thought Deadline reported on it or something, but
I thought that's been rumored for a long time, because it's basically like, I mean, we're basically a full year out, so they're doing kind of like the Odyssey type of thing, or even, you know, back to when they did a Super Bowl spotlight for Endgame a year in advance type of thing. I feel like they're really going to be pushing this movie, and especially now with the other reports, and not to touch on this like too much, but they're going to be re-releasing Avengers Endgame, because they're now saying that Doomsday picks up right where Endgame left off.
Yeah.
Which I think, you know, not to get too deep into it, I think makes sense, because I think they're actually going to do something with like Tony Stark and the origins of Doom and stuff like that. Try and build up as much of Doom was behind the scenes of certain things for longer than we expected, to make him a bit of a better villain. But I think we should be seeing the trailer, especially given it's attached to Avatar, which will be the highest grossing movie of this year.
Sure.
Like, that is where there's going to be the most butts and seats for theaters.
Which that's why I think it makes sense to have the trailer there. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's already a Disney property. It's not like they have to pay to put it in front of it. So
yeah, and I would expect it to just be a teaser, and then I think we could be looking at like a full trailer for like Spiderman, and that's when, like, you know, they'll have something a lot longer ready for summertime.
I will say we are due for a Spider-Man like for movies that come out in July. Marvel usually does like a December or early beginning of the year kind of thing. Definitely at the Super Bowl we'll see something for Spider-Man. I will not, but you guys will see that.
It was this time last year. Bro, you're not standing on some sort of like moral high ground with this.
That's not what I'm saying, bro. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just pointing it out.
It was like, wasn't it around this time last year that we were getting the Superman trailer, which came out in July? So
yeah,
it's kind of same timing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it came out in December before.
I think you're right.
The turn of the year. So we should be expecting something soon, especially considering, I mean, Marvel knows what this movie's going to do for them. Like they need a Spider-Man movie, and then they also need Doomsday to be a hit. Like,
and see, the reason I think the Doomsday thing is if we're talking about it like just not being a for sure thing, the reason I think that it's more likely for Avatar, other than the aspect we already talked about, how it's going to be the highest grossing movie, there's going to be a lot of butts and seats, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, like, look at what Nolan did for the Odyssey. You know, he dropped a little teaser trailer a year before the movie came out, and everybody loved it. Everybody ate it up. So I'm not to say that could become the norm for all these like bigger budget feature films, that kind of thing. But I could see Marvel also wanting to follow in those footsteps and do a similar thing. I don't think they'll put the IMAX tickets on sale, but I think that
no, they won't do that. But I agree that I think they are going to try and push the momentum of this as much as possible.
Yeah,
like, we know that quality wise, we're all going to be there anyways, and we're hoping that it's going to be a good movie. but we also just have to be realistic about even the box office numbers of Marvel in recent years. They want to push for this movie to probably make at least $2 billion. They haven't done that since No Way Home, and they haven't even been hitting $1 billion, which they were doing consistently around the time of Infinity War and Endgame. So I think they're really going to be pushing for Spider-Man into this movie to sell a lot of tickets.
Speaking of the money that we think these films are going to make, to pivot a little bit, I have two things with this. The Endgame re-release was announced this week that it's going to be re-releasing theaters in September next year, so a couple months before Doomsday comes out. So with that, a little fun question: do we think that it will beat Avatar?
It will.
It needs Avatar. 200 and some odd million to pass Avatar.
Oh, light work.
You think? You think that many more people are going to go see it again in theaters?
200 million.
I think it will.
I mean, I don't know. 200 million. That's a lot, man.
Sure.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be subtle hints or obvious hints of like, hey, through the teasers or a trailer or whatever information we get, there's going to be like a, hey, you probably want to go and watch Endgame again because we're tying into that with
this, and this was going to lead in. That's what I was also going to get, because they're doing that deliberately. Like I think there's story reasons for it. It's not just for a re-release thing to like, let's try to beat Avatar or anything, make more money. Obviously that's part of that is part of it. I'm sure not the beat Avatar, but just make more money. That's part of it, I'm sure. But there is definitely a reason that this is happening for story wise. And they want us to pay attention to Endgame and remember Endgame, have it be fresh in our minds going into Doomsday.
And to be honest, like if I know that it's a story thing, number one, I'm already going to want to watch Endgame before watching Doomsday. And number two, theater re-releases for big movies where you could go and watch it with an audience and it's just got a different level of its experience. It's like, yeah, my rewatch will probably be in the theater then. So 200 million, I think it can. I don't know if it will, but it can.
Oh, it definitely can. All right, I have a question. Are we really in love with the idea? Is it really something that brings some spark to piquing our interest when it comes to Dr. Doom putting all of this stuff in motion because Captain America went back in time in the events at the end of Endgame? Do we really love that as an idea for that creating Dr. Doom, or having Dr. Doom go on this big hunt for Steve Rogers like all of these leaks are saying, right? Because obviously Endgame ends with Steve getting his dance. They're saying that Doomsday is going to pick up with it. Or do we genuinely think that it's a good, like, feasible story device that's the route we're going?
Is that the rumor? Like specifically picking up where we left off with Steve?
They said where Avengers Endgame ends is where Doomsday picks up almost beat for beat.
See, my interpretation of that was more just the Endgame final battle. Not necessarily.
I've
seen the rumors that Aiden's talking about too.
Okay.
With
and the way I took it was like scene bleeding into scene, the end of Endgame. Doomsday picks up right there.
See, I don't really dislike the idea. I need to really understand, and they need to really set forth the understanding of why Doom is going after Steve. Like we've seen Doom. We haven't actually seen him, but we kind of saw him in the post-credit scene for Fantastic Four. Now, does that take place midway through Doomsday? Yada yada yada. We don't know yet. But why did what Steve did? Why does that upset Dr. Doom so much? Is it a very personal reason? Is it he just thinks that he's messing with time and time messes back or whatever? Whoever said that crap. Or like what's his driving reason for chasing after Steve Rogers here? And how does that in turn include everybody else into the equation? Because is Doom tearing through time to get to Steve, or like, I don't know. If that is how we're doing this, it brings up so many more questions for me. I'm not initially against the idea to answer your question. I do think it can be cool. That can be cool. A cool way to tie it into Doomsday, or tie it into Endgame, if that's like, if it makes any sort of like emotional sense for that. Like,
we're jamming puzzle pieces together, man. Like, it's like Steve Rogers, really, like him going back in time, putting the stones back. That is why we're getting a Doomsday movie. That feels so cheap to me.
well, maybe like, Steve did some stuff that he wasn't supposed to do, because Steve is such a Boy Scout, and like he sees a bully, he wants to stop the bully.
My thing is not that I would be inherently against the events of Endgame tying into Doom, however they end up handling that. My bigger thing, and we've talked about this many times before, is if that's the route that we were going, then we should have known about this or had hints of this a long time ago. It feels like, and we all feel this, Marvel knew that the last few years have not been great for them, and they really haven't been building up to anything. Like, they did their little thing with Kang, they had the whole multiverse thing, but it was really a mess, and then they had the unfortunate stuff happen with Jonathan Majors. They pivoted. Apparently, they said they wanted to do that anyways because which is like, I don't know if that's true or if that's just PR cover-up or whatever it may be. Either way, bringing in RDJ, bringing in the Russo brothers to release Avengers Doomsday, we all feel like this is them trying to overcorrect for the last few years of Marvel.
And then so they bring Cap back too.
So to me, I don't have the faith that this was properly thought out. And whatever story we get, it could make emotional sense, but it might feel like the last few years of Marvel was a big waste of time if we build up to something that they kind of have to still explain most of.
Fair. But there has to be a heavy explanation for Doom even being here at all. Is this a Doom from another universe? If that's the case, then maybe you don't have to explain too much. But if this is Dr. Doom who's just been in 616 the whole time, like, we gotta understand how he was able to operate and grow in ways that maybe, I guess, because the Avengers disbanded after Tony died, and there is no real Avengers team. Nobody was really like watching anything like that. I don't know.
I mean, is it crazy to say that Cap going back in time? I don't know, because in my head, I still think of the factor of what if there's something to do with Doom being a Tony Stark variant, which I don't know how I would feel about that, but I don't feel like the casting is just to cast RDJ. I think there's going to be some sort of significance to that. So am I crazy in saying that Cap going back in time somehow created Doom? Like, is that a potential storyline? Did something with the multiverse that ended up creating a Tony Stark variant? I don't know. I feel like that's a factor too, because I'm not just going to sit here and say that RDJ is only cast because Marvel fans want to see RDJ back. I think it will have story significance.
I don't know. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see. I don't think we're gonna get more answers to anything we're talking about with the teaser trailer next week, but maybe we'll get. Do you even think we're gonna get a look at RDJ as Doom next week? Do you think that's even gonna be a thing?
What? I think so.
Maybe in the shadows, like on the throne in the dark. Like, I don't know.
But you think we'll see RDJ as Doom? No. You think we'll see Dr. Doom, but just we won't see that it's RDJ.
Yeah, maybe.
But like, do you think that they have to capitalize on the fact that it's RDJ and to try to get people whoever hasn't seen the Comic-Con news or whatever, who hasn't heard about that, is this the moment to like tell those people RDJ, bro?
I don't think we see RDJ. I think we see Doom in his costume. I do think we see Doom, whether he's sitting on a throne. I think maybe throne shot. If anything, just him, whether he's walking or standing, whatever. That's where I'm putting my money. in terms of Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, I don't think we see that.
Yeah, I don't think this is their time to show it. And I just say that for the fact of like, if they have some huge reveal that they make in this teaser trailer, obviously we're going to be excited. But like, let's say they, in the teaser trailer, for whatever reason, it's the scene with Steve at the end of Endgame, and then they hint at something else lingering in the shadows, somehow the origin of Doom or whatever it may be. Like if that's somehow in the teaser, and it's this big mic drop moment of the potential for the story that we're going to see, I don't think that's wise to release a year in advance, because I think it's too far away to play those kinds of cards unless you're going to have even more stuff that you can throw at people. So even an RDJ reveal, I think that's a summer full trailer type of thing, closer to the re-release of Endgame, closer to the release of Doomsday.
Speaking of, the closer to the re-release of Endgame, if they drop a trailer, showing RDJ,
If they drop a trailer,
that'll make people go see the Endgame again.
If it like directly ties into Endgame scenes somehow, like they're talking about with these rumors, you're gonna make $200 million.
Over or under 15 seconds of footage from projects we've already seen.
Ooh.
In this trailer.
In this teaser? Oh, dude, I'm gonna be so mad if that's the case. But truthfully,
under. I'm going under. I think this is only like 30 seconds to a minute tops.
Oh, I agree.
I think
we're going to be at like a minute 15. I think we'll be at a minute 15.
Yeah, I don't think it goes much. I don't think it goes higher than a minute 30.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get more time of like black screen music, fade-ins, and barely any actual footage or images of anything. And maybe a monologue from... Dude, if it's like a Tony Stark monologue
from Reed Richards in the background while it's just showing a bunch of different characters or some shit.
I don't know. Or like they did with Endgame, where it's like a line from a few different characters.
Dude, if it's just like a monologue of RDJ Doom, like we don't see him, that'll be tough.
That'll be kind of sick.
If it's a monologue of RDJ like talking to one of the heroes, and then like it's just we don't know who he's talking to, but then it just shows all the, like it'll show Shang-Chi, maybe it'll show Captain America, like I don't know, like if it's just like fading to different people and then like showing a battleground or something, and then RDJ saying some crazy line, that'll
or like people, bro, like just RDJ, and every time we talk about this, my mind goes immediately to his performance in Oppenheimer. Like if we just get like that RDJ monologue over, and we don't know who he's talking to, we don't know that you could throw together whatever, but the last little shot is like Sam Wilson, Reed Richards standing right there, and we see throw in a fucking Cyclops, Professor X, whoever, and we just see that they are who he's talking to. My God, bro. Cinema.
I have one final question about this. Do we think, because obviously we got a lot of casting that was confirmed, do we think that we're getting like a second batch of casting confirmed? Do we think they just show us somebody who we don't know about in this teaser? Or do we think they're saving that?
Let me ask this.
They have to save stuff for the movie. 100%.
Yeah.
They're not going to tell us everything.
So we didn't see Hulk. We didn't see Doctor Strange. Who else were like the major ones that we were missing? Obviously Monica, but like Wanda.
Are you talking about the chairs? Who we didn't see on the chairs?
That we didn't see.
Okay.
Because I could easily see. Well, shoot, I don't even know if I could see Doctor Strange really playing any part in Doomsday. Honestly. I don't even think he'd be in the movie.
I didn't see any of the Eternals personally.
Well, they're not going to be anywhere.
I don't think they're going to be in the movie.
I think
they're going to be in the MCU. It's over.
If there's a surprise for the trailer, casting wise, you know what? I don't think there will be. I don't think we're getting another batch. If anyone is going to be like Monica, I don't know why she wasn't in the initial batch, but all of this, like, there's going to be another chairs or like there's more people. why not save that for Secret Wars? You know, like why
Depends
put
on
all
who
your
else is in
eggs
this
in this
movie.
basket?
Like, I don't know. I feel
Who else
like
makes sense?
well, here's the thing. I feel like so there was a lot of hype surrounding No Way Home. And obviously part of it was just the MCU Spider-Man movies made a ton of money, but also because of the possibility of 3 Spider-Men swinging together.
Mhm.
I think they're going to have a lot of cards that they hold close to their chest, but I also think that they are going to want to get as many people to go and see this movie as possible. I don't think it's unreasonable that they reveal before the movie comes out that we're going to see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds coming back for the movie, or Toby and Andrew. I think they could drop that and still they could still keep some things close to their chest. But I think they are really, really, really going to push the momentum of this movie.
I don't think they can do that. If they hadn't announced the X-Men characters that are going to show up already, I would agree with you. I don't think that now that they revealed that they can also add on, and Toby's going to come back before the movie comes out, and Andrew are going to come, like they're going to come back again. Like I don't think that they can do that. That is something that you have to hide at this point. Like if that's the case, I don't think that. I don't know, man, because we already know so many people that are coming back now, like RDJ being one of them, being the main one, right? And so I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think that that's
But just think
would be
about
the
it.
move.
The way that I think about it is like we had the moment of the chairs revealing a lot of the characters, and that was incredibly exciting, and a lot of people are still riding that high. But it's also something that now that it's been a couple of months, we've accepted it. We know that they're in the movie, and that's still going to be great,
Sure.
but the high that we were riding is not as high as it was. I think over the next year, as they do a teaser, as they do a trailer in the summer, as they do the Endgame re-release, I think we're going to keep getting little snippets of information to keep us riding as much of a high as possible to go rewatch Endgame and to go watch Doomsday. I really think, like, I'm not necessarily saying it has to be casting. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, you know what? Let's keep feeding the people more and more reasons to be excited for this movie.
So, I'd agree. But I like what you said, because that's where I was going to push back. I don't necessarily think it's a Toby, Hugh, Ryan Reynolds. I do think they will do something like that. I don't think it would be them. Charlie, go ahead. Sorry.
Do you think that if that's the case, if like they do just go balls to the wall with showcasing the characters that are going to be in this movie, do you think then the big moments don't come from character reveals like that of people showing back up? They more so come from like moments in the movie, like an airport fight scene per se, or like a Titan fight scene per se. Like, do you? Because like, if that's my point, I guess is, do the big moments, the big clapping like seals in the theater moment, do those go away if we know that they're in there? Sorry, actually, they don't go away. Even if we know that they're going to be there, 100%, there's still going to be that the crowd is still going to be excited for when those people show up, and there's still going to be those clapping moments. But you still have to have those moments that are unforeseen, and they still hit like crazy. And so, do you think that you lose that? Do you think you still have that with the scenes, like the airport scenes that I mentioned, those type of scenes, or do the character reveals kind of carry that?
I don't think they do at all. I think the biggest moments that I would mention outside of the Spider-Man showing up in No Way Home, if we look before that, I would say some of the biggest moments that happen don't happen because a character shows up. We knew in Civil War that Spider-Man was going to be in the movie. The airport battle hit just as hard. We knew a lot of who was in Endgame, but one of the hardest hitting moments was Cap lifting Mjolnir. Those things can be independent of who is a part of those things. Now,
Yeah.
it can also be the character reveals, of course, but I think that depending on their approach to it, I just think they know they have to lock in for this movie, and they are going to have a ton of things that the fans are going to love. But I think it's enough where they can keep feeding us over the next year. and still have enough substance in the movie itself. I mean, they revealed the return of a bunch of X-Men characters a year and a half in advance. It's like, clearly, if they had just saved all of that, we would probably go crazy in the theater. But we already know that. So in my head, it's like, there's got to be more. There just has to be more.
Sure. You know what's also interesting? They did the big chairs thing, and they showed everybody that was going to be in the movie. And I remember a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, it's probably because they're going to be filming, and they don't want these things to be leaked, so they're just going to showcase it." And then we didn't get a lot of any leaks, like at all, of them filming. At least not any that were just like straight up, this isn't AI, like this is legit. So looking back, I'm kind of like, well, now they've wrapped up filming, so why did they reveal all of that if it wasn't to kind of get a head scoop on people leaking them filming and whatnot? Something to ponder on.
Maybe it was like a just in case sort of thing. Because, like, what do you think that because doing it so early, doing the chair thing so early, if it wasn't for that reason to try to hide that, like, what do they get by generating that hype so early? You know, like, I mean, in fairness,
as still talking about it right now.
Very fair. And as Ben just mentioned, like, there are people that are still riding that high. But and maybe that's it's to carry us to this trailer next week. But
fuck, next week, man.
Yeah.
On the big screen, I love that they're like not dropping it online. It's just like, hey, big screen, here you go. It's it's gonna be awesome, man.
Fire, and you guys get to see it in IMAX. Crazy. Anyway, let's talk about Pluribus, huh?
W transition.
Yeah. So Pluribus episode 6, was it? Yep. 6? Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah. Let's hear from Benji Man first.
We're not doing a reaction.
Oh yeah, right.
Wow, great hosting, buddy.
Sorry. Well, it's just like TV like per episode. That seems crazy, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, well. Okay, thoughts on Pluribus in 3, 2, 1. Episode 6. 3, 2, 1.
What? Oh my god! I think that was one of the best episodes of the whole fucking show, dude. That shit was straight cinema, bro. I mean, we got so much.
Sure. And I mean, obviously, I enjoyed seeing John Cena. You know me.
Awesome, great cameo.
And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good episode. But I definitely still want to hear from Benjamin first, then, like, especially with him being like in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this episode, and we made more progress in comparison to the last few, in my opinion. But I think over the last couple of weeks especially, I've reflected back on the show, and I've thought back to the first episode and just kind of the mystery of this countdown timer and then everything that happens, getting introduced to Carol and her backstory and whatnot. And that was an amazing pilot episode, and I feel like we made so much progress. Like, the start of the episode compared to the end was kind of a journey, and we learned a lot. There's a lot of mystery, and you're hooked into what's going to happen. And then I talked about my complaints of just the pacing of the show and feeling like we weren't really accomplishing all that much. And so I think for me, even though this episode did more in comparison to the last couple, I think I'm just upset with the pacing of the show as a whole. I still feel like as we go week to week, we are not making the progress that we should be making. And I don't know if I am just not as committed to like the long haul of eventually we'll get answers and eventually we'll care more about all of these things. Because in the case of like Breaking Bad, which everyone's going to compare this show to, you have all of these episodes that you just learn about the characters and you see their interactions. And some of that does tie into then what makes the later seasons so great, is that you've spent this time watching Walter White's journey and his descent into this other world. You get to see that whole journey. But as I'm watching this show, I don't necessarily see that vision of watching like the journey that Carol is going on to understand what's happening in the world or trying to reverse it. It's not like she herself is going through much of an internal journey other than just she's trying to figure out a way to reverse it and learn the information that she can. Her stance on the matter in this episode is the same that it was at the end of episode 1, which was confusion and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to reverse it. That's really just been the whole show so far. And so what it's been more reliant on is it providing us more information about what's happening. And I feel like the pace of what we have learned, how things work, I think after the second episode really came to a screeching halt. And even with the big thing that we learned this episode, which we talked about last week, and we theorized that that might be the case, even that isn't like a big, crazy reveal to me. It's like, okay, that makes sense. Why is that significant? And so for me, I just think we have gone on for too long without learning enough. And so it's been difficult for me on a week-to-week basis, because when our character is still just trying to accomplish the same thing and she's learning stuff at the same pace that we are as an audience, but it's like one or two minor things in a 50-minute episode, I just need the pacing to pick it up a little bit. And I'm trying to not complain about it, because that seems like a,
heavy whiner, bro. Heavy whiner.
Yeah, it seems like, my attention span is short or something like that. But I seriously think that even in the long term, as we get these answers and Carol starts to figure out a solution, whatever ends up happening in this world, I don't know that the journey taking this long will be worth that payoff. I don't see the big picture with that.
Okay, I want to push back, because I think this should be likened more towards something like Severance, especially like Severance season 1. If you're watching this week to week, right, and we're looking at the character of Mark and how he's navigating everything that we have seen so far throughout those first 5 episodes, whatever it kind of equates to what we've seen in Pluribus so far. Do we look at Mark then week to week in that episode and say, well, yeah, I mean, for Mark's journey and everything that we've seen so far, like we've just gotten minute details on Lumen and everything happening at Lumen. That's what I liken it to. So whenever we get something in this episode, such as all of the big reveals that we got, for spoilers' sake, I agree that episodes 3, 4, and 5 slowed down a good amount, slowed down a big chunk. And episode 6, I feel like, was the best it's been, maybe 1, 6, and 2, in my opinion. I think back to maybe a Severance season 1, where a Severance season 1, I was loving the mystery element, same as I am here. I was loving the world building, seeing other characters and how they are reacting to the big elephant in the room that is severing yourself, and that is the hive mind. And then how that was affected with episodes 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, 9, whatever it may be. That's where I think that this show should be kind of more compared to. Maybe it's just sci-fi Apple TV, easy grasping at straws, but I at least feel comfortable saying that when I compare this to season 1 of Severance, for instance, it's a lot easier to swallow, rather than comparing this to the absolute fucking roller coaster that season 1 Breaking Bad was, right? We're dealing with two different things, and I'm not saying that you're dead set, hand on the Bible, this should be compared to Breaking Bad, but maybe it's a sci-fi thing. Maybe I don't watch a lot of sci-fi shows. Maybe the only sci-fi shows that I've really watched recently are Pluribus and fucking Severance. But they're close enough, in my opinion, to at least see that, okay, this is how season 1 of Severance went. This is how I felt about it. I'm seeing that I'm kind of feeling the same way with Pluribus, right? This episode, while not as big as the You know, I'm being careful not to spoil Severance, but as the big wife twist, right, in Severance, while we haven't gotten anything like that yet, this was kind of inching towards that moment of a season 1 Severance moment to get us to the end of our last big arc. So it's a little bit more easier to swallow for me. If their big twist moment was supposed to be, oh my gosh, they're eating humans, like, wow, that's crazy. That is big. Again, not as big as what I've seen the best sci-fi show ever do, one of the best TV shows ever do a couple years ago. But, you know, it's at least easier to swallow for me rather than what you're feeling right now.
I think the difference, comparing this to Severance, the difference is that Severance, the concept of it, inherently had tension pretty much constantly in the first season. I mean, you had some quieter moments when you just had characters in the office talking with one another, but inherently within its nature, everything that was happening was intense and it tied into Mark's character. Whereas in this show, yeah, you could say this is a mystery and we're learning little things. You could compare that to Severance. The difference is that it's not like on an episode to episode basis that Carol is consistently having this tension or going through this character arc like Mark did of questioning everything that's happening at Lumen. And that kind of develops over the season. Things get more intense and more chaotic. I don't feel like this episode where we got one of the big reveals of this season, that to me was not like this intense moment that increased the stakes of anything. We still are at the same point and have the same goal as we did in episode 2 of this show. Have we understood more of what's happening? 100%. But I don't see that affecting Carol on a consistent basis where we care more about this journey. This journey is more about what's happening and not how it affects Carol. And that is where I would draw the difference, because Mark's character was so much more directly affected by what was happening in Severance. That's to me where the difference is. And I don't know what, I don't know, that that's just the way that I think about it and the way that I feel about it, is that if we were dealing with more of a Severance, the concept either needs to be more interesting and offer more tension during it, or there needs to be a lot more reveals of what's happening. Otherwise, we've just kind of been a little bit stagnant and just learning more as time goes on. Like, I'm sorry, we got a 50-minute episode to learn another 2 things about what's happening. That's really all that it was, because the effect on Carol has stayed consistent. It's not changing. It's not developing. It's the same.
Well, I mean, we also got the fact that Paraguay dude is coming all the way up there to meet with Carol, especially because he's one of the only other ones that's not infected that is so gung-ho on, hey, I need to get to the bottom of this. This is not the right way to live, whatever it may be. I mean, we did also get that huge development on top of the fact that they can't do anything unless they have consent, opening the door for, I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about her eggs and like getting into her frozen eggs and getting stem cells from there, opening a lot of those doors to this last big hurrah of the season, which is where I think we'll start to get a lot of those things. I think this was,
not to interrupt, but is that something that they said that, like, does she have her eggs frozen?
Yeah,
I don't remember that. Okay.
They
because I've seen that too, but I didn't know.
It was in the flashback of episode 3 where she's
Gotcha.
talking with Helen and she's like something about their.
That's where they was in the frozen hotel. That's where they went to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which I think it's because the poster says we will not get any stem cells from your body. You have our consent. But anyways, I think opening a lot of those doors to see that, showing the hive mind and how they operate again outside of Carol and just Carol's tunnel vision point of view. I'm going a little bit into my review. I ate all of that up. I thought all of that was great. I think all of the developments that we made were great. Again, it's a stepping stone episode into the last little bit, and I thought it did exactly what it needed to do, and I thought it did it perfectly. So.
I won't get too like specific or minute with any of the things that you said. I'll just say I think we've basically gone 4 full episodes with Carol being in almost the exact same spot and learning a few things. That's where I'm at.
But that's the thing. You could argue that Mark was kind of doing the same thing in Severance season 1.
Mark changed so much episode to episode. The intensity ramped up.
But did he, or was it only whenever the wife stuff happened that he really started to dig into everything happening at Lumen, or the big wife twist? Up until that point, he was still getting drunk, meeting people and just having these little conversations about Lumen, and then we were getting little Lumen Easter eggs throughout every episode. Again, I think it's paced the exact same way. I think they're both doing the exact same thing.
I mean, we could spend a long time breaking it down one to one and seeing the different ways that they handled it. The truth is, I remember episode to episode being invested in Mark's journey and in the information that we were being fed.
And so am I with Pluribus. And so am I.
I think we've gone 4 episodes and we've barely moved. That's where I'm at.
I don't know. That's a crazy take. To me,
especially when you consider how much happened in episode 1. I think these 6 episodes, we could have accomplished the exact same thing in 3 episodes.
I don't know. I disagree. I heavily disagree.
Break us up, Charlie.
So for me, I enjoyed the episode. My problem comes with just like it. I think, well, one, it was a very, not, I don't want to use the word shallow, but it was, in the grand scheme of things, there wasn't very many things. We talked about it last week. There wasn't very many things that this reveal could have been, and like saw that coming a mile away. I do think that's interesting, and I wanted to know about it and like we got the explanation for it and everything. I just don't love that it was such a big deal, but then it's not shoved away. It is very well explained as to why maybe it's not that big of a deal, but it's just like, how are you're going to end the episode prior on a cliffhanger like that? Like, it's going to be a really big thing, but then in the very next episode, you not belittle it, but just you make it so much smaller with a little thing from John Cena, and it was just like I get it, like they're all going to starve, and like that is an interesting quandary, but this is probably where I lean towards Benjamin a little bit. Like, like almost every time that I'm like with Carol and like she found something, and maybe this speaks to what the show's trying to do, to make how they're trying to make Carol feel like hopeless. Like every time she gets a step forward, they have a great explanation for it. They have a way around it. There's a way that she just can't like attack it. There's not an angle that she can attack it from. Maybe that's what they're going for. If that's the case, then maybe they are conveying it well and it's just going over my head, but I think that maybe it's not being conveyed super well. Cause like Carol, not that this is any, indictment on Rhea Seehorn's performance or anything, but I just don't know that I'm getting that like this is hopeless idea from Carol so far. Like she had that spark of hope in this episode when she found out about the stem cell thing. Like she got really amped up and told them, "I do not consent." And like then she was almost at ease a little bit, probably because she thinks that like she's in the clear now. She knows these people can't lie, but they can omit the truth, which I believe if the rumors on Twitter are correct, then that is technically what they'd be doing. If they're saying, "We will not take them from your body," then that is omitting the truth. That's like a half truth kind of thing. So seeing Carol at ease here, and like maybe that's supposed to be a little bit of a great thing, but it overall, like, Carol's hopelessness isn't coming through very well to me. She's kind of just like, she's living her life still, which I get it. Like, we had last episode with Helen and having to like redo her grave and everything like that. But I don't know that, like, this should have been like a huge, I feel like after the John Cena video, like that should have been like, because she thought this was the nail in the coffin, bro. When she made that video, or she was good, it was so big to her that instead of just making another video, she drove to Las Vegas to meet up with the guy, you know? And so I wanted that to be like soul crushing to her. And maybe that's just speaking to what I wanted. And so that's not really like the knock on the show. That's just like well, I wanted it this way kind of thing. But I don't know. I very much enjoyed it. I'm very excited that the guy from Paraguay is on his way over now, and they're going to meet up. I'm interested to see how they're going to communicate with each other and everything like that. And I do feel like I think Aiden's right here. Like, this is where it's like, at this point it's going to start kicking up. Absolutely. Especially when they meet up and everything like that. It's just, I wish that overall, if I had to say my complaint for this episode specifically, that big reveal, I just wish it meant more, because they treated it like it's such a big thing, but then they again, for lack of a better word, belittled it and dropped it down in the same episode that it was this really big reveal. I don't know.
Are you saying you don't know if it was intentional or not, or if it is intentional and it's just going over your head because it's not being portrayed well?
Are you, as it pertains to Carol's attitude towards everything? Is that what you mean?
I guess I don't know. I'm trying to figure out because I definitely, and I think we might agree here. I definitely think that, all of this stuff is supposed to be, this is some huge discovery. Oh wait, it means nothing. Great, now I'm back to square one. I'm getting nowhere with this. I think that is the point of all of this.
And I agree with you.
And I think we agree there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree. I think that's the point. I just don't know if it's being sold very well through Carol and her attitude towards everything. Like, yeah. I don't know. She very much still takes a liking to Zosha, for sure. She kind of just seems to be going, and actually, yes, this is definitely not an indictment on Reyes. I think it's the way that Carol is written. That is, it's falling. It's her attitude towards it all is sort of not falling in the direction that I would think it would be, for how much she's trying to find a way to reverse this, find a way to convince the others that this is a bad thing. Like, it doesn't seem to be weighing on her as much as it should be.
She's fast and loose. She's definitely fast and loose with it. What I wonder is if maybe there's a way that we saw her go stop and save Zosha in episode 2. We haven't really seen a lot since then, right? We saw a lot of her, hurting them or even trying to get the information out of Zosha. I definitely think there's something in her that takes a liking to Zosha, that is attracted to Zosha, and that is maybe even attracted to the idea of what they have that she doesn't.
Happiness or something?
Happiness, the hive mind, how beautiful they explain it, how they have Helen and she doesn't.
Lonely, because that's something that was described by the French guy. Yeah, he said to the other people, she's very lonely.
Yeah,
which is true, but she's refusing to admit it, and I think they're playing that very well.
All of those things could have a hand in that, but again, they're not really showing that tug of war. It's kind of like, just, you have to interpret it yourself. So I'd be interested. I know I saw some, like, quote unquote leak that that makes me think that a lot of the issues you're having is stuff that we're just kind of having to wait and see go into effect. Because after seeing that leak, whatever it was, and then watching this episode, hearing your qualms with it, or even just looking back at the whole Zosha moment in episode 2, it does paint Carol in a different light for me. And I'm wondering if like say I were to tell you what that was that I saw, or if you see it in whatever episode it's in, if that kind of changes a lot of those things, a lot of those feelings that you're having towards Carol's writing. But I do agree with you.
I still very much enjoyed the episode. I thought it was, even though I saw what kind of thing the reveal was from a mile away, I still think that the way they did it and the way that they wrote that for it to be justified for this hive mind, I think was really good. And I even so far as to like how they wrote the other survivors, if you want to call them, being okay with it. I think that that's totally fine as well with how they all act about this whole thing. Like that's fine. And the fact that they're even all trying to save them, I think all very interesting stuff. And as we just talked about, Carol feeling lonely, but she's not willing to admit that. Like, I bet it's eating her up. Not really eating her up. That's not the best way to put it. But I bet she secretly hates it that they all abandoned her, even though she doesn't like them. I bet she hates that they all left her town and none of them will go near her. I bet she hates that. And I think that's the kind of great stuff that I like. I'm here for 100%. So when she finally meets up with the Paraguay guy, somebody who, for all intents and purposes, feels the exact same way she does about this whole thing, I think that'll be very interesting to see, and hopefully see Carol in a sort of a different way.
I agree in that, like, I want to see all of that 100%. I just feel like so far we've been in a cycle. It really
He's back at it.
It has felt like Carol discovers something, she films it or makes a video, she sends out a video and is trying to be like, hey, I learned this new thing, this means this, trying to tell the others and whatnot. It's just been a cycle of that for multiple episodes. And yeah, we've gotten little hints of learning more about what is happening with the others. They've been in communication with one another. They don't really like to talk to her just because of some of the things she's done, causing the afflicted to freak out and, kill these people's family members, whatever it may be. They don't really want to involve her in things. We've had hints of that, her loneliness, and how she feels like she's the only person in the world who really wants to fix this. And now this other guy's going to come in and seems like he's definitely on board with her thought process. And so there's maybe going to be she's going to have somebody who actually understands her position and who's more in line with her. I'm there for all of that. But that has been tiny, tiny moments in the last few episodes of mainly learn a little thing. Carol records a video about it and wants to send it out to people.
It's so funny because the recording stuff was just literally all last episode, and that's it. Other than that, she was not recording anything. It was the Zosha stuff in episode 4 where she tried to get answers out of her. And then episode 5, whenever she started doing the recording, and it ends on that cliffhanger. And then she films her last one and goes to Vegas. That's it. That's all the recording's been, by the way. It's just last episode. Come on, Ben.
Okay, I mentioned a couple of things. I mentioned her discovering something. Even episode 3, like, yeah, she wasn't just recording videos every single time, but it was still just her learning about something, freaking out about it, reacting to it, and then we're back to square one. Yeah, she wasn't recording all of it the whole time, but it's still like, I don't know how you can't say, yes, we've moved forward a little bit, but episodes 3 through 6 have pretty much been a repeating cycle of learning a little bit about the afflicted people and learning a little bit about the other survivors.
In fairness, she did the episode that I think I liked more than you guys, the one where she tries to act on Zosha and drug her.
Yeah.
She learned that information about they can't lie and everything like that, and then acted on it in the very same episode. So that one I think is like, sure, it didn't work out, and like that's due to the writing of the show too, which is probably more so your complaint, Benjamin. But in the very least, like I did appreciate that like she learned that information, she acted on it and tried to get something out of them, and then now she's paying the price for it. Just internally, she's not letting anybody else know about the loneliness thing. but I
Well,
can.
and
I go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just
No,
gonna
you're fine.
say, well, and that's the other thing. I mean, she drugs Zosha to get that information out of her, and they directly leave, possibly in a manner of, oh, we can't be close to her because she's close to getting on to us and possibly finding out that there's a way to end all of this. We have to get away from her. Now it's a matter of, oh, how close is she to reversing this process or to getting the answers that we don't want her to get. And then
That's
next
actually
episode,
huge. I didn't even think about that, bro.
If
Maybe
these
they're masking the reason they left as like you hurt us too much, but that's the real reason is that she's getting too close, and they're afraid of that.
if these are the
Yeah.
stakes, these don't feel like the stakes.
because it's Vince Gilligan, man. This man, he doesn't lay everything out on a platter for you. He makes you work for that shit. You haven't seen Better Call Saul, man, so you don't get it.
I'm just saying we could be in for an incredible last couple of episodes this season where I'm getting everything that I want. That does not mean I will not look back at this middle portion and say, yeah, they moved a little too slow.
We're on a agree to disagree terms. I respect your opinion. I get that, and I definitely do see where you're coming from because I had my worries too after episodes 3, 4, and 5. I mean, I was feeling a little bit of the same, but I do also remember feeling that way about Severance a little bit when I first watched it, and being like, man, I don't know, like. This is like the greatest episode, or this is like the greatest season of television people are talking about, like what's going on. I remember kind of being in that same like cautious viewpoint for that middle portion of season 1 of Severance, and that quickly eating my words after that episode. But I don't know, I personally love what they're doing here. I love every direction that we're going. We're also forgetting that he found some kind of like signal on his like radio station. That's actually very huge as well. Like extremely huge. That somebody is doing some clicking, or there is something on that radio station. He's on his way to come see.
It had to pertain to, because that's how they found the original signal in the premiere, right? The pilot episode, like it was a radio signal that they discovered, a frequency, or what was it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was just like they were just like astronomers.
I thought they received a frequency.
There was like they were astronomers, but it was like a frequency that they were trying to.
Oh, okay.
I thought. I mean, I don't know. I guess
I just thought they had like seen something in space that was kind of, but that makes more sense, is that they were like receiving something. But yeah, so
because I thought they were like, it's not Morse code or something like that. I don't know. I kind of remember that, but
I think you're right. Yeah, I think I'm just misremembering. But yeah, I mean, even that, like how this whole thing started, we're seeing another like little frequency, something out there, right? But obviously, all of our doctors or scientists and like smartest people in the world are not looking into that, and probably will not if it has anything to do with reversing their process. They have all the power in the world right now. So I think that's pretty cool. That was a huge reveal as well, because it literally could be anything at this point. So yeah.
Pluribus episode 6. We have 3 more left? There's 9, right? We said that last week. 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see where we go. But
me
now the moment we've been talking up for the last week. We spun the wheel last week and decided who was going to be giving who movie recommendations that we are required to watch by next week's episode and give our review upon them. And those picks went out like this. Benjamin is required to give me, Charlie, it has to be a movie recommendation. I am to give Aiden a movie recommendation, and Aiden is to give Benjamin a movie recommendation. So let's let's start down the line as I just mentioned. Benjamin, what do you got for me, pal?
Oh, I'm nervous.
Oh man. I put a lot of thought into this.
Again, I still have my thought, but
Do you want to give your thought first?
sure. Okay.
Go ahead. What do you
I just imagined like but last week, as I said, as soon as this idea was put forth, I was like, I know which ones these two are. If either one of them get me, what it's going to be. And for Aiden, as I said last week, it was the Ballad of Wallace Island or whatever.
Wallace and Gromit, yeah.
Wallace and Gromit, yes. And for Benjamin, I figured, and this can't change if you don't have this one. It can't change. Okay. Lord of the Rings. I figured it'd be a Lord of the Rings thing. So.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
because I have not seen the Lord of the Rings.
I didn't even think about that.
So I didn't think of that immediately when we were talking about it last week. But then as I thought about it more, of course, that came to mind. But that is fourth on my list.
Really?
I came up with 4. And so this is like, if you happen to have seen the first 3, then yeah, you're getting Lord of the Rings. But I don't think you've seen these. So the movie that I am going to
This is your number one, right?
This is my number one.
Okay.
I'm going to be gifting to you is The Departed.
I have not seen The Departed.
Let's go. Let's go.
I have not seen The Departed.
Huge.
What
I actually
is this
haven't
streaming
either.
on?
I might just watch it just because you've reminded me. Oh yeah, that's on my watch list. I need to watch that. So
it's on Pluto TV to watch for free, but it's also on other things too.
The Martin Scorsese movie with Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
I
like a good Leo movie. Okay.
That is my gift to you.
Okay.
I watched.
Let me know what 2 and 3 were now too.
Well, first I'll just say I rewatched The Departed earlier this year. I think I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, and so it was kind of fresh on my mind. And it's also like I looked at my letterbox to see some of the stuff that I had higher rated, and that was one that just came to mind. It's like I don't think he's seen that. My number 2 was going to be Shutter Island. Another Leo movie.
I have seen that, but it's been a long, long time.
Yeah. My third one was going to be Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
I have seen that.
Okay, and then fourth was Lord of the Rings. Okay.
I'm really surprised Lord of the Rings wasn't higher because, like, you love those movies, brother. That's fine.
I think Lord of the Rings is one of those things where, like, I don't want your first experience with it to be, oh, I'm forced to watch this because Ben wants me to. Not that I don't think you would enjoy it and continue the series and whatnot, but I want you to want it first.
I want you to want it. Golly. Okay. So I will be
babe,
watching.
I want you to want it before I do anything.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
So I will be watching The Departed by next week's episode. Aiden,
what do you got for me, brother? I'm nervous.
It's your turn to get one from me. You see,
wait. Let me guess.
Okay. All right.
It'll be.
You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna guess this.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. I have to do some research. Okay. Is it?
You're not gonna guess this.
Is it Uncharted?
Oh man, it should have been. Have you not seen Uncharted?
No, that's
what? I should have done that, bro. That's crazy. I should have done that.
That is funny.
No, yeah. I don't think you've seen this. I don't even know that I've really talked to you guys about this. I think I have, maybe at one point. I really hope you haven't seen it because I don't really have a backup. But a movie called Plus One. It's a romantic comedy.
Oh,
more so romance than comedy. But
it has your boy. So.
Mm-hmm. It's got Jack Quaid in it. Yes. And Maya Erskine. And wait, Erskine. Wait, did you watch the one she was in with Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the TV show?
No, but that's definitely where I recognize her from.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I can't recommend that as a TV show. I love that though. And after watching that, I watched this movie. And so, and this one is probably one of my favorite movies, bro. I love this movie.
You have brought this up a few times.
I have? Okay. Yeah,
I think just in conversation about Jack Quaid movies.
I guess my backup would have been Eternity because I talked about it last week. I think it's a really good movie. I think you guys should go see it. I love Eternity. I think it's a fantastic movie. But
Eternity. I have been wanting to see this one. Yeah.
Again, romantic comedy though. So that's all I'm really recommending right now.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, my one of mine that I was gonna give to Ben was gonna be, oh my gosh, you know it. Gosh, please jump in and say it.
I've seen it. Well, describe it.
Past Lives.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was gonna be my one to Ben, but I didn't. But yeah.
I guess, and my backup also would have been Upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Take one for Ben.
Dude, Charlie likes that movie too.
Yeah, it is a good movie. I like that movie.
That's funny. The other rom-com, if we're just shouting out rom-coms that I'm really interested in watching, About Time.
Oh, that's on my list too. Wait, no, I've seen that.
Have I seen that?
I want to see that one so bad. So I have to
watch. Is it Rachel McAdams?
Yeah. And,
okay, I have seen it. That's fire. That one's fire. You should watch that.
Plus one About Time.
I think I've seen it.
Yes, I have seen it. Yeah,
I have also seen that movie.
I need to watch that one big time. I've heard that that's like when it comes to rom-coms. Charlie, I know I'm not supposed to recommend you one, but When Harry Met Sally.
Okay.
Get me every time, bro.
It's an oldie. Okay.
Time. It is like, bro, straight tears. It is the best, like, will they, won't they? I love it.
Okay.
Anyways.
I might hit that up. See, I'm just not the biggest old movie guy, but I'll do that. I'll do it. I'll hit it up.
Rom-com, you're a rom-com guy. So that's all.
I'm a rom-com guy. Yeah.
All right. 100%. So we got plus. So I actually have my own little watch list that I'm carving out. I have plus one About Time and The Departed on there because you just reminded me that I need to watch The Departed. So, but plus one will be priority for before next week. Okay, cool. Well, Mr. Ben, are you ready for yours?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, I wanted to pick a movie that I think you would absolutely enjoy, especially looking at how you felt about the Steven Spielberg. What is that?
The Fablemans?
The Fablemans.
Oh my
how you felt about the Fablemans, right?
No.
I wanted to kind of keep you in that loop. I wanted to keep you in that loop.
You are not about to do this.
And I want to recommend you to watch Babylon.
I knew it.
Oh my gosh.
I promise if I thought that you'd hate it and it would be a waste of your time, I wouldn't recommend it to you. Seeing as how much you love the Fablemans, I genuinely think that you would adore this movie. All right. This isn't a punishment. I don't want you to see it as a punishment. It just happens to be a long movie. So that's it. All right. But I'm recommending you Babylon.
Dude, I probably would have never watched that movie in my entire life.
I know, this is my one opportunity to get somebody. I can't get anybody else to watch that movie with me. So.
Oh man,
this is my one opportunity. I do genuinely think you'd like it a lot, but I mean, we'll see.
That's so funny.
Wow. I think we cooked here. I think we
did. Yeah.
Yeah. This is
like
good.
It.
This is good. Okay. Well, that leaves us with Benjamin having to watch Babylon. I forgot the name for a second. Benjamin has to watch Babylon. I have to watch The Departed. Aiden has to watch Plus One. And we will come back next week, all of us with our thoughts on on that. Unfortunately, we're going to do our episode probably a couple days before we're going to all go see Avatar, unless we push it and then we can put Avatar in the same episode. But it might be a lot to
that
do
would
if
be
we're all talking
interesting.
about our own movies and whatnot.
We could try
We'll play
to
it by
catch up
ear.
a little earlier and like record on like Sunday.
Yeah,
and be on a bit earlier schedule than we have.
then we'll
the
talk
last
about
couple weeks.
Pluribus episode 7 in our movies, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
okay.
We'll
I don't
figure
know.
it out.
But with that being said, thank
Because
you all.
Wake Up Dead Man also comes out in 2 days.
Right,
Ooh,
it
Jesus.
does. Thank you for telling me that. Oh my gosh, I can finally see it.
Yep.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go.
Netflix for the win, except for when they buy Warner Brothers. Anyway. Thank you all so much for watching or listening wherever you are watching or listening. If it's on Spotify, again, please leave us a 5-star review or a lesser review. I don't even care at this point. I just want to be reviewed. My score. I want to know what it's worth. Okay. And these two, I'm sure, want to know as well, but who cares? Do it for me. Do it for me. And if you're on Spotify, be sure to leave us a comment. We can read those on Spotify too, and we will read those aloud at the beginning of every episode. Benjamin next week, he will do it. He will do it. As for YouTube, again, hit the like button, hit the notification button, hit the notification bell, and the subscribe button, please. Because again, we'll be back next week talking about our movies that we all have to watch, as well as another Pluribus episode. And also leave us a comment on YouTube. Same deal goes there. But thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful morning, wonderful day, wonderful night, whatever it may be. We will see you all next time. Adios.
Peace.
Sayonara.